As the women weave, their stories and songs become a part of me. And so the climax of this little play is that I, as a 14-year-old, and when I am fully woven into a basket beautiful, I will fill myself with dreams, with memories that come together into my sides and seams. I will fill myself with empathy and with family and with love. I invite you to this village in which the women of wisdom will be weaving us in a new way.
Good morning. I am Reverend Amy Russell, one of your assistant ministers here at First UU, and welcome to our Women's Wisdom service today. I am an older white woman with curly gray hair, and I'm wearing blue today. We are here today to honor women everywhere of all ages and the wisdom that we learn and grow from as we age. This month is Women's History Month, and last week was International Women's Day, so we thought it was appropriate time to really honor women. Today we have with us many wise women who will be, sorry? Okay, I thought you told me you couldn't hear me. I'll try to talk a little louder, Norma. We have many wise women here to talk with us, and we have lots of other people here to join our wonderful First UU singers who will be singing today. Jamie Kilpatrick, who's going to be leading them. In our tech booth, we have Craig and Jeremy, and leading our hymns today, we have Judith, Bari, and Hyatt. And Hyatt is also going to be leading our meditation today. Our lay pastoral, if you want to talk to someone today, if something's on your mind, we have our lay pastoral care associate, Diane Sneed, and you'll find her in our small conference room. Also later in the service, we're going to be inviting you to come up and to gather some wisdom from the baskets you see on this table. And if you are thinking during the service, I'd like to share this little bit of wisdom that I gathered in my life, then you can just go outside and get a card and write it and just come add it to our basket to share it with someone. You're also reminded that as our UU principle of democracy is so important to us, you're reminded that this next few weeks, there's a special election that you are encouraged to vote in. Let's take this moment to introduce ourselves to our neighbor and say hello. Just leave this here. Hello. I don't know why, but for some reason I always forget to introduce the visitors. So if you are here and would like to introduce yourself to us and tell us your name and where you're from, we'll have Jamie with a mic coming soon to introduce yourself. Please stand up and raise your hand.
Anybody want to say hi?
Hi.
Oh, that was like a fake out hand. You were like, oh. Nice.
We are visitors, but a few of us actually grew up in this church. So my name's Janelle Heller. I am James and Terry Wolf-Heller's daughter, here with my siblings Misha Heller, Luke Heller, and we all grew up in this church as children for many years, so it's great to be back. And we are here with our spouses, well, my spouse Adam Fajardo, and then Asia Heller, and our child Kala, and some children downstairs, just like we were many years ago, but here to celebrate our mom's 75th birthday.
What? Back in the back? Back in the back. Good morning.
Hi, my name is Evelyn Wells. I'm a visitor. I am a teacher in the community. This is my first time visiting this church, and I'm very excited. I live just down the street, so it took me all but 5 minutes here. So, yeah, that's...
Welcome. Anyone else brave enough? All right, well, welcome.
Normally I have a minute to
Good morning. I'm Joan Lewis. I'm an old gray-haired white woman of Ashkenazi descent, and my pronouns are she, her, and at times the royal we. Feminine spirituality, when women consider women out of childhood, that there are 3 phases of their life: the maiden, the mother, and the crone. Sometimes this journey is a straight line, one to the next. Sometimes phases are skipped or revisited. Each phase has its own rhythm, its own colors, its challenges, its rewards, and during each phases of our lives, wisdom is gained. Maidenhood is for exploration, adventure, growing into oneself. The maiden is out in the world learning new skills, forming her ideas, making connections, and discovering her true adult identity. She builds relationships, but she remains independent. She is not afraid to try new things, take on new personas. She is not chaste as she grows and learns how to take and give pleasure. She is learning what she needs, questioning assumptions. She is brave. Her strength is energy, courage, openness, and daring. The mother is the giver of life, the caretaker, whether she has her own children or nurtures others, including organizations, the less fortunate, the ill, or her surroundings. She is the sustainer, comforter, the teacher. She is the master of her calling and moves confidently through different worlds. She creates and maintains her environment, keeping others safe. She is a giver, often stretched thin. She maintains connections. Her strength is her generosity, her softness, her methodology, and her competence. The crone is the healer, the holder of wisdom, memory, and stories. She is for herself and for the community. She has ventured out into the world and has returned to herself. She is sure of her purpose, uses her energy wisely, and is willing to share what she knows. She is the repository of the family history and tradition, the arbiter of family struggles. She is the confidant of the young, the supporter of the caregiver, yet she depends on neither of these. She values her time alone. She listens and hears what is not being said. She is the reminder that all that blooms perishes. Her strength is her endurance, her knowledge, and her calm acceptance. We light our chalice today to cast a spotlight on the wisdom living within us all, wisdom born of the triumph we have achieved, wisdom born of the disappointments we have endured, wisdom passed down from one generation to the next. Light the light of our chalice. May the words of wisdom that we hear today help guide us through these perilous times.
Please stand as we sing our opening hymn, number 1026, If Every Woman in the World. One of the wise women of the world that I love is Mary Oliver. So I want to share some words of hers. A poem called, To Begin With, The Sweetgrass. The witchery of living is my whole conversation with you, my darlings. All I can tell you is all that I know. Look and look again. The world is not just a thrill for the eyes. It's more than just bones. It's more than the delicate wrist with its personal pulse. It's more than the beating of a single heart. It's praising. It's giving until the giving feels like receiving. And you have a life. Just imagine that. You have a life. You have this day, and maybe another, and then maybe another. What I've loved from the beginning, I think, is mostly myself. Never mind that I had to, since somebody had to. That was many years ago. Since then, I've gone out from my confinements, though with difficulty. I mean the ones that thought to rule my heart. I cast them out. I put them over on the mush pile. they will be nourishment somehow, because everything is nourishment. And I have become a child of the clouds and of hope. I have become the friend of the enemy, whatever that is. I have become older and cherishing what I have learned. I have become younger. And what do I risk to tell you this, which is all that I know? Love yourself, and then forget it, and love the world.
I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. Yes, I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. You used to rock me in the cradle of your arms. You said you'd hold me till the pains of life were gone. You said you'd comfort me in times like these, and now I need you, and now I need you. And you are gone. So I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. Since you've gone and left me, there's been so little beauty, but I know I saw it clearly through your eyes. Now the world outside is such a cold and bitter place. Here inside I have few things that will console. And when I try to hear your voice above the storms of life, then I remember that I was told. Yes, I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. Yes, I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. I think on the things that made me feel so wonderful when I was young. I think on the things that made me laugh, made me dance, made me sing. I think on the things that made me grow into a being full of pride. I think on these things, for they are true. And I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. I thought that you were gone, but now I know you're with me. You are the voice that whispers all I need to hear. I know a please, a thank you, and a smile will take me far. I know that I am you, and you are me, and we are one. I know that who I am is numbered in each grain of sand. I know that I've been blessed again and over, again and again and again. Yes, I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. Yes, I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me beauty in the world through my own eyes.
Good morning. My name is Kenya Gibson, and I'm in my 6th decade. It's kind of weird to say it like that. I'm in my 50s. Okay. So I work with a lot of very wise women in my work. I currently sit on an elected board, and there are 9 of us, and 8 of us are women. And we don't always agree, but I can assure you we are all wise. But I wanted to tell you a little bit about my family. My father grew up in Florida, went to college in Nashville, grad school in Massachusetts, and to be truthful, he never looked back. So we lived very close to my mom's family, and they were the people that we spent holidays with, and we were very close. I didn't meet my father's mom until I was in grade school. But she was really a joy, and everyone called her Honey. She came on a plane and brought a box of Krispy Kreme donuts on the plane from Florida. Now, this was a long time ago. We only had Dunkin' Donuts in Connecticut at the time. And I learned that Krispy Kreme were indeed my father's favorites. She was perfectly content. She loved making pies and making gumbo and reading her romance novels. She spoke very slowly, so I immediately felt peace in her company. She flew up again to visit us a few years later. She got me into Days of Our Lives and gave me all the background stories. And I remember showing her my parents' collection of self-help books that my parents had on the bookshelves in the living room. And Honey said, well, you don't have to worry about me, because all I read is them dirty books. I never met or spoke to anyone else in my dad's family until Honey had passed, and I was an adult with kids of my own. My relationship with my father had ebbed, so I scoured the internet and found my aunt on Facebook. Now, my father had always called her Valerie, but as it turned out, her family called her Precious. We exchanged messages and soon spoke on the phone. Our first call lasted for hours. I learned so much about my family and my father. It was eye-opening. And I saw myself in her in many ways. She was independent, raising her kids almost entirely on her own, something I would soon do myself. We still talk, and she regularly sends me texts from a motivation app. Somehow they often resonate with me, whatever's happening with me at that moment in time. Last week, my favorite quote said, "I don't care what other people think of me. I enjoy my life with my own rules." Thank you.
See how nicely women behave with each other? Good morning. My name is Denise Rhymes. I now know that I am officially a crone, which I'm very proud of. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm wearing dark rimmed glasses and a gray sweatshirt, and am very happy to be with you this morning on behalf of our Share the Plate team. In the heart of Richmond, there's a place where hope, dignity, and opportunity come together every single day. The Sacred Heart Center is the place where Richmond's Latino families find connection, opportunity, and support. Every program offered is designed with one purpose in mind: to strengthen families and open doors to a brighter future. At the heart of the center's work are its education programs. Adults come here to learn English, prepare for citizenship, and build leadership skills that help them navigate life in a new country. As many as 1,000 of their clients have received GEDs as a result of their participation at the Sacred Heart Center. The classes don't just teach language or civics, they build confidence, independence, and community. Parents gain tools to advocate for their children, and newcomers find a welcoming space to learn and to grow. The center also offers youth and family programs that create stability and connection. Children and teens participate in after-school enrichment, mentoring, and leadership activities that help them thrive academically and socially. Families can access workshops, cultural events, and supportive services that make daily life a little easier and a lot more connected. Across all of these programs, the Sacred Heart Center is truly a trusted hub, a place where families feel seen, supported, and it's so important to feel empowered. Whether someone is seeking education, community, or guidance, they find a team ready to walk alongside them. These programs are more than classes or simple activities. They are pathways to opportunity. They help parents secure better jobs, help students build confidence, and help families feel at home right here in our home city. And because the center is deeply rooted in the community it serves, every program reflects the strengths, the hopes, and the needs of the families who walk through its doors. The Sacred Heart Center's programs change lives every single day. They build skills, strengthen families, and create a more connected and inclusive Richmond, one class, one family, one relationship at a time.
If you are here in the sanctuary, ushers will be coming around to gather your donation, and at home, to give electronically. The information is on your screen. Please give generously to this worthy cause.
Good morning. I'm Hayat Bain, and I am 66, and I was thinking, well, if you intended and imagined it, 66 is the new 44, right? I love the age that I am, and sometimes I'd like some of the things I had at that age. Let's put it that way. So I use she, they, and we pronouns, and I'm wearing a turquoise outfit with some sparkles, and I just realized I still have sparkles in my hair too, so I'm pretty sparkly today. And I have beige, pink skin, and I'm wearing my hair back in two barrettes. All right, and I'm short. I'm standing at the microphone. Before I begin the meditation, I just want to explain a bit about the process that we're going to follow after that. As I begin to play Native American flute, we're going to ask people to maybe start with this side over here and then work this way and follow around this way. So go in a circle so we're not all like going in two directions at once. So come this way, take a wisdom nugget from the basket, and then go back to your seat that way. So some people will have a bit longer walk, and if you need someone to bring a wisdom nugget to you, because that's way too much ambulation, then perhaps the ushers can do that. That would be great. All right. So this morning, I was listening to an interview with Anne Lamott, and she used the phrase, flight attendant to the world, to describe a kind of toxic codependency. It's been the experience of many women raised in the 1950s and 60s, and perhaps beyond, who were conditioned by their families, by our culture, to be constantly helpful, nourishing, and attentive to the needs of others, often at the expense of their own needs and their own well-being. I was thinking that many women in our congregation might be able to relate to this, and I can certainly relate to the way I was brought up to do that, and I feel like I've been on a healing journey from that, my whole life. I was thinking that I grew up expecting to please others and make them more comfortable, and I've found a great freedom with age, finding a balance between nurturing myself and taking care of others' needs. And then Anne Lamott said, when she is no longer flight attendant to the world, then she is left with the deep truth about who is really there. And to me, that's wisdom. So now just find a comfort in your seat with your feet flat on the floor. And I invite you to do a quick scan of your body, either from head to toe or from toe to head. And gently notice where you're holding tension. And invite those places to release if they're ready to let go. I invite you to take 3 deep breaths into your belly, letting the mind settle, letting go of the cares of the day, the week, the month, and what a year we've had. So just letting that all fade into the background for a few minutes. Just being fully in your body and with your breath. Next, I invite you to place a hand on your belly and a hand on your heart to bring awareness to your body's natural wisdom. So ironically, we're going to be sharing wisdom nuggets with each other through taking one of those slips of papers from the basket. And at the same time, I'm inviting you to think about, not even think about, to feel into what is your own wisdom. So ask yourself, what do I need to understand or know in this moment? and listen to your inner voice of wisdom or your higher self. If your mental voice comes in, just let that thought float by like a cloud, gently moving through the blue sky of your mind. So, what do I need to understand or know in this moment? And know that you can turn to that inner wisdom at any moment, whenever you need to. I'm going to play some flute while you reflect on that. I should say this is the time for this side of the room to start coming this way. Going around the circle. Some brave people could start. Thank you.
My name is Autumn Fair, and my pronouns are she, her, and I am in my 6th decade. So when, as a freshman in college, I first learned about the field of organization development, a focus on strategic change and understanding its impact on organization effectiveness, I knew that was the career for me. Now, this was a field that people tended to discover once they'd worked in business for about 15 years, usually requiring a master's. So after working in business for 3 years, right out of college, I very ambitiously applied to the Masters of Organization Development graduate program at Pepperdine University. So I guess I shouldn't have been surprised when the Pepperdine interviewer asked me, "Why should we accept someone as young as you when our typical student has much more experience?" At that moment, I could have lost confidence in myself and fumbled around in shame for even thinking that I could be a part of such a well-acclaimed program. But I held my footing, and I replied, "Well, it shouldn't be held against me that I discovered OD when I was 19, and your typical students don't discover it until midway through their careers. I don't need to wait another 12 years to start studying this when I can apply it to my job now." Now, they did have a point. I didn't have the work experience as others did in the program, but I had a good point too. And instead of downing myself, I shared it. While I was largely raised to be, like it was said, a people pleaser who disqualifies herself when challenged, I have learned better through experiences like that interview. I've learned to treat myself with respect and dignity, honoring my skills and feelings, instead of putting them below those of others for no reason other than appeasing them. I'm not perfect at it 100% of the time, but when I do that, I walk away standing up straighter because I stood up for myself. It can be hard to break out of how we are socialized in order to realize who we really are and what we're capable of. While I deeply value and learn from others' perspectives, I balance that with valuing my own. I don't let others create narratives about me. I write my own story by listening to my gut and trusting it. I tell my daughters, don't let others walk over you, and don't apologize before you say something unless you truly have something to apologize for. Don't discount yourself. Every human being has worth and dignity, we know that, and should be treated that way, including us honoring that in ourselves. If I hadn't responded to that interviewer over 25 years ago with self-respect, I surely would have missed out on one of the most transformational experiences of my life, studying the field I loved at the feet of some of the best. I'm so grateful I didn't count myself out.
Good morning. My name is Rashida Gray. I use she, her pronouns, and I am quickly entering my 6th decade. The wisdom of women can make the world safer, kinder, and more loving. When I was thinking about what wisdom I wanted to share with you all today, I honestly was not sure what to say. Am I really old enough to be sharing wisdom? So I asked some of the people closest to me to remind me of some wise words that I may have shared with them in the past. My son recalled that when he was facing a daunting assignment, likely a very last-minute art project, I would say to him, okay, you've got 10 minutes to freak out and then gently pick yourself back up and get back to work. When our kids were very young, I was prone to take a life lesson and turn it into a song. And my daughter's favorite was, it's not all about you every day, all of the time. Because it's about him, her, she, they. It was the first pronoun song. And then my sister reminded me that when she first got married, I shared with her the dangers of letting resentments build in a marriage because that can be so poisonous for a couple. And lastly, a dear friend recalled me saying to her, it's better to try and maybe fail than to regret and have never tried. So those are some pretty decent words of wisdom for sure. But as I reviewed all of those answers, I realized that the deepest wisdom I could share today was really not any one suggestion or sentence. It was in the fact that there were people to ask, that there was a circle of people to turn to. This wise counsel is likely to be people in your life that you have gathered around you from different parts of your life. They have watched you and you have watched them. You've supported each other through ups and downs. And you all have watched each other shine and maybe even fail. This circle may know you sometimes better than you know yourself. This circle may or may not include people who know each other. They may not be connected in any way except to you. Oftentimes, the kind of wisdom that is shared amongst your circle does not come from books, sermons, or degrees. It is gathered slowly. It is wisdom that is gathered through love and loss, through family and friendship, through mistakes, through starting over, and through learning when to speak and when to be still. Some of the truest wisdom is passed quietly between people who trust each other. Listening to the trusted voices of a circle grounds us. It protects us from the danger of living only inside our own thoughts, which can at times lead us astray or exacerbate the confusion we're already facing in our life. These trusted voices live inside of us in the very best way. Steadying voices, wise voices, loving voices. They can reflect back to us our truest self, which we sometimes cannot see on our own. So I offer to you today the wisdom of choosing your circle carefully, be intentional, and love it well, because in the moments when life pulls you off course, the wise counsel of the people you have gathered can hold you and guide you. Their collective wisdom may be the very thing that leads you back to yourself. Thank you.
I am speaking today for Joyce Riston, who has had a small accident and is recovering, but she has shared her wisdom with us today. Joyce says, I was raised in a family where success was measured by degrees, top grades, and impressive personal goals. This was the pursuit and determination I had until the age of 34. Until this time, life was full of adventures, college, working in the arts in Latin America for 8 years, returning to grad school in the States, and eventually calling Richmond my home. But wait, I experienced a sense of emptiness and confusion at the age of 35. I had to slow down, focus on where I was heading, not where I was heading, but where I had been, which held less importance. Suddenly, success no longer was achievement and recognition. It was a sense of overpowering love and personal satisfaction. My world as I knew it imploded. For the first time, I understood success was not medals or money. It was a selfless, unconditional love for a newborn child.
I'm old. There's no denying it. My long white hair and wrinkled face are sure giveaways. Heck, I'm going to turn 81 in 2 months. And while I'm not the oldest person in the room, I am old. And the funny thing is, I like being old. I accept, no, I'm more than accept my aging. I celebrate this stage in my life and the wisdom I have found as I have given up versions of myself from the past. No more little Joni. As some of you know, I am officially a crone. I was proclaimed that by my friends and family in my backyard a couple of years ago. My writing group and I created a croning ritual because we felt all too often older women were not seen, not heard, not listened to, not taken seriously, and even mocked by our juniors. We knew that we had discovered new understandings, new talents and appreciation, new wisdom on this third journey of our lives, and we wanted to commemorate it with a passage ceremony. For me, the wisdom I learned as a crone was to accept and honor myself as I am. As I aged, I came to know and trust my abilities and talents. I had experiences that showed me I was more than simply just capable. I stopped beating myself over forgivable mistakes and learned to admit what I didn't know and what help I needed. I learned to speak my truth unapologetically, knowing that my thinking was often way outside the box. And I was not crushed when others disagreed with me. All the self-doubt and fears of not being smart enough or pretty enough or worthy for love that I thought I needed in order to be accepted faded and opened me up to new perspectives. I no longer fear death. Whatever comes next will happen regardless, so I focus on the present. I believe that killing is wrong. I believe the means always predict the ends. I believe we are all being the very best self that we can possibly be, and hopefully we are all working to do better. I believe doing good feels good. And lastly, I believe it is important to leave our campsite in better shape than we found it.
My name is Helene Meadows, and I'm in my 9th decade. What I have learned in my 81 years is that living in community has potential. Potential for love, conflict, learning, comfort, joy, growth, and so much more. Several years ago, a small group of friends at First UU gathered around a mutual friend whose husband was sick and dying. We met monthly, had lunch, watched a movie, and supported our friend throughout the time of her husband's death. Soon after, our friend was diagnosed with a terminal illness, and we continued to meet until she died. By that time, we had all bonded in love and continued to meet until this very day, supporting one another as we each faced the challenges of aging. In quilters here at First UU, I experienced creativity and the development of new ideas. In the Woman's Wisdom Circle, I learned to listen more closely and share more deeply my innermost thoughts and feelings. And for 37 years in Singers, I experienced the joy of making music with others, my peeps. And in the Jewish Lives of UU group, we practiced together the customs and traditions of my birth religion. In Reader's Theater, we form a cast, a little family, and tell stories through performance. The relationships that we have formed in community over the years has brought me so much indescribable joy and gratitude. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Terry, and I use she, her pronouns. And as of yesterday, I am officially halfway. I'm on my way to 80. However, I am today representing our dear friend Norma, who is more than halfway on her way to being 100. And I'm wearing black and white. And I wear black and white because Norma wears black and white a lot. And can you imagine how hard it was to get 8 women to all be coordinated? We're all wearing black, white, and some blue. And it was just an accident. That just goes to speak about how women get connected and get in tune with each other. Here we all are in the same colors. So, I'm going to talk about Norma. I have worked on this with her. Norma doesn't come to the church a lot anymore because she has difficulty in hearing. And right now, I might have a little difficulty in reading because I'm just about ready to have cataract surgery, and I'm not used to having all these lights, so bear with me. But Norma would start off by saying that people might say that I'm an independent woman, maybe even fiercely independent. Well, and she would say, well, maybe not, I'm not so sure about that, but then we'll go on to tell you about her life, and you will see that she has been a fiercely independent woman. As a child, she grew up alone. Her mom died when she was 7, and she grew up with her grandfather, her mom's father, and an aunt and some uncles. And one of the things she said about her childhood was, nobody ever read to me. So when she went to kindergarten, she was very excited, but she came home the first day very sad because she didn't learn to read. But she quickly learned how to read, and she never stopped. And that's a big story in her life, reading. She's been a lifetime reader, and she says that reading has comforted her, educated her, entertained her, motivated her, and exposed her to new ideas that have helped her to be independent. Although she got a degree in chemistry, she didn't get a job in chemistry. She says, I guess the world wasn't ready for women to be chemists. So she got a job, first as a librarian, and then later as a kindergarten teacher. And she was a kindergarten teacher for 19 years, and she says that what she really tried to do was help children be independent and to have confidence and to be the person that they were. She had 3 children. She wanted to have 3 because she didn't want them to be growing up alone. She eventually decided to leave her marriage, which meant she didn't have, let me read it in her words. I decided to leave my marriage, which meant I had to raise and financially take care of my children on my own. And I couldn't do that on a teacher's salary. So I had to have a second job, and I worked on the weekends. I did what I had to do to take care of my kids. Back then, it was hard for a woman to get a divorce because before 1974, women couldn't have a bank account with their name on it. Women didn't have credit cards. Back then, she had been Mrs. William Doss, but when she got divorced, she could have her own name. It was right about the time that she got divorced that the law changed. I had been raised Baptist, but there were some things that I just didn't believe in. So someone suggested that I visit the Unitarian Church. I did, and I never looked back. But being a part of this church was an unpopular idea with some of my friends. They did not understand the freedom of thought that I found in this church. I found a place where I felt I was at home, and I found a place where I could be me. Much later, I remarried, and I married Norman Craig. I met him at Solo Discovery, right here at this church, as some other people met their partners here. We had many happy years together, and together we enjoyed our church community. But of course, life plays many tricks on us as we age. Norm, the wood carver, began to lose his sight, and eventually did lose his sight, and was no longer able to make his art. In the meantime, I was losing my hearing. He couldn't see, and I couldn't hear. It was just last year that I lost Norm. I do miss him. At the same time, living life as long as I have, one comes to acknowledge that life will end, and this has helped me to prepare. Now, I am back to being on my own. I'm okay with living on my own and enjoying my alone time. I have friends, and I have family, kids, grandkids, even great-grandkids. And they come and visit me, maybe take me out to lunch. Still, much of the time, I am alone. I'm quite content with that. I am quite content drinking my glass of wine and reading yet another book. So I say, eat, drink, and be merry. And please join Norma after the service for some refreshments, some birthday cake, and help her celebrate her 96th birthday, which is on Wednesday.
Wow, we are all washed in wisdom. And thank you all for all of your wisdom that you shared today. As we said, after the service, we're going to celebrate Norma's birthday in the President's Hall. And our benediction today comes from one of our wise women, Maya Angelou, as we extinguish our chalice. She says, "Be present in all things and thankful for all things. Amen and blessed be." Please stand as we sing our closing hymn, number 1051, We Are.
Numbers too big to ignore, and I know too much to go back and pretend. 'Cause I've heard it all before, and I've been down there on the floor. No one's ever gonna keep me down again. Whoa, yes, I am wise, but it's wisdom for the pain. Yes, I paid the price, but look how much I gained. If I have to, I can do anything. I am strong. I am invincible. I am woman. You can bend but never break me, 'cause it only serves to make me more determined to achieve my final goal. And I come back even stronger, not an